Curfew to be relaxed island-wide from Tuesday. Movement between districts excluding Colombo and Gampaha permitted. President Rajapakse and Indian Prime Minister engage in a phone conversation. Rice mills in Polonnaruwa subject to a special inspection. Seychelles nationals arrive in the country for medical treatment. Another group of COVID-19 patients recover. Total number of COVID-19 patients increase.
Good evening and welcome to your weekend edition of Primetime News on TV1. In your top story for tonight, President Gotabaya Rajapakse and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi have agreed to further strengthen bilateral ties between the two countries amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. The agreement had been reached during a telephone conversation between the two leaders.
The President's media division said that both leaders had agreed to strengthen all forms of ties between the two countries in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. The President, who had engaged in the telephone conversation with the Indian Prime Minister, had expressed satisfaction for the opportunity to discuss matters of mutual importance. He had thanked the Indian Prime Minister for the assistance rendered to Sri Lanka amidst the current crisis. During the conversation, President Rajapakse had stated that the 10-ton consignment of medical supplies gifted by India had been beneficial to the country. Prime Minister Modi has said that he considers President Rajapakse to be a leader who is capable of making swift decisions with a clear vision. According to the President's media division, the Indian Prime Minister has said that Sri Lanka has managed to control the pandemic in a proper manner and that credit should be given to President Rajapakse in this regard.
With the sighting of the crescent moon, the month-long Ramadan fast has come to an end. The Colombo Grand Mosque has announced that Muslims in Sri Lanka will celebrate Eid al-Fitr tomorrow. Now in more local news, the President's media division says that the curfew in all districts will be in effect from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. starting from Tuesday.
Travelling between districts except Colombo and Gampaha will be permitted from the 26th of May. According to the President's media division, an island-wide curfew will be in effect from 8 p.m. today until 4 a.m. on Tuesday. The police said that the law will be strictly enforced when the curfew is in effect.
The Consumer Affairs Authority carried out inspections across several rice stores today.
Officials attached to the Consumer Affairs Authority carried out sudden inspections at several rice stores today. Yesterday, the Consumer Affairs Authority said that it will be carrying out constant inspections into the stocks that have been sold in the market.
We have some dignity as we are not thieves. It is the people of this country who consume our rice. The media should also know about it. The media should identify the root cause of these issues. He has done his duty by issuing a gazette stipulating a purchasing price for rice. However, we cannot abide by that. My loss is 1 billion rupees. How can I run my business? If I end up in prison, then the rice mill will be shut down. What has happened now is that the government has hidden the traders. As a result of this, the prices will increase.
This was a discussion that took place during an inspection carried out at the complex of the Aralia rice mill.
No, it is the government which is doing this. When they are doing it in the face of politics, we cannot remain silent about it. This government has given that thief 3 billion. It is the people like us who are trying to do something for the country who are harassed. All of this is Kirisamba. This is a 3-acre storage facility. That is why I forcefully brought you here. I wanted you to see this.
නෑ නෑ මම මේ ඔයාගේ වැඩපිළිවෙලට බොහොම අප්‍රීෂিয়েට් කරනවා ඔයා ලංකාවේ හොඳ පුරවැසියෙක්
අපි අත්‍යවශ්‍යම දර අපිට වගකීමක් තියෙනවා අපේ රටේ ගන්නකොට අපි දැන් අම්බ කරා අපි හිටිය ඇති අපිට අපිට මේ නයිපුරු ඉස්සර බේරලා මේ ටික පිළිවෙල කරන්න
ඉදා තමයි ඉදා කිව්වා යා රික්වෙස්ට් එකක් කරා ඔබතුමාගේ මතකද
නෑ මම ඊට පස්සේ කතා කරන්නේ නාඩු වලට වැඩිය සම්බාඩුයි.
Samba is priced less than Nadu. Kiri Samba is priced less than Samba. The Agriculture Department is saying that there are 3.2 million tons. Leave this amount alone. If there is 1.8 million, I will give this mill to the government without a charge.
32ක් නෙවෙයි 3,18,000ක් තිබ්බම මම මේ මෝල දෙන ආණ්ඩුවට නිකන්. ඒකට හේතුව ඔව් මම හැබැයි අර විදිය වෙන්න ඕනේ. 32ක් වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඔව්.
අන්තිම ඩැඩි මහත්තයා මතර අහගන්න. ඔබතුමාලා
You are selling Kiri Samba for 85 rupees. You make a small profit by doing that. We will not prevent you from doing it. But won't you be able to help the people at this time by incurring a few losses?
Kiri Samba
Kiri Samba is sold for 100 rupees and 105 rupees as well. We sell it at that price despite having to spend on the packaging and quality of the grains. Small shops survive as we sell our rice on debt for them. All those have been stopped as their businesses have also been affected. Now they have to pay to purchase rice.
දැන් ඔබ සියලු දේ නැවතලා දැන් උණුක් පැටිලා. දැන් ආල් දෙන්න නැහැ දැන් සල්ලි දාන්න ඕනේ කන්න.
We are receiving complaints that the cashier is billing the price of rice at 89 rupees, but they're selling it at 95 rupees. We must look into that as well.
95ක් විනා කිලෝ එකක්.
දැන්
පොඩ්ඩක් ටිකක් බලන්න ඕනේ.
මම එහෙම කරලා නැහැ.
එහෙම කරන්න එපා. හොඳයි.
එහෙම කරලා
අපි ගැසට් එකට අනුකූල වෙලා කටයුතු කරන්න කියලා.
නෑ අපි ඒක දැන්ටත් එහෙම කරන්නේ.
ඒක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා නම් ට්‍රාන්ස්පෝර්ට් හරි අගේ චාර්ජස් හරි
මොනවද වයින් කරන්න.
වෙලෙන්දට කියන්න 98ට වඩා ගෙවන්න එපා.
ඔව් අනිවාර්යයෙන්.
අන්න ඒක කියන්නේ මේ 88 ගන්න ආලා.
ඒක තමයි. කරදුර 98 තමයි. 98 අත්ත කියනවා. ඉවමරු කියන්නේ. ඉව අත්ත කියනවා.
The Nippona rice mill in Polonnaruwa was also inspected today. Officers of the Consumer Affairs Authority had inspected the Laksahal rice manufacturing company as well.
Minister S.M. Chandrasena has alleged that a group of rice traders have created a fake impression of a rice shortage in the country. He said that the government will open several rice mills to defeat the rice monopoly in the country.
The standard purchasing price of 90 rupees imposed by the government on paddy is not respected. There is a rice mafia that aims to force an increase of this price. I wish to regretfully state that certain traders are forced portraying a rice shortage in the country. President Gotabaya Rajapakse had requested to establish rice mills in order to destroy the rice monopoly. We hope to do that in the future. The rice mill owners and traders who attempt to hurt the government are aware that this is President Gotabaya Rajapakse's government. Meanwhile, during a media briefing today, Secretary to the Ministry of Internal Trade, Food Security and Consumer Welfare expressed the following views regarding a rice shortage in the country.
Rice distribution within the Colombo district by small and medium rice mill owners is almost complete. Rice distribution within the Kalutere and Gampaha districts will continue tomorrow and the day after. The rice distribution program that commenced today will continue in the remaining districts. Rice will be distributed to cooperatives and the cooperatives will then distribute the rice within their respective divisions. Arrangements have been made to distribute rice to all Southern outlets starting from next Tuesday. I would not like to call it a mafia. At this point in time, even large rice mill owners are in discussion with the minister. They too will work with us to provide rice to the market. There are sufficient stocks of paddy in the island. Farmers have been given a certified price of 50 rupees per kilo of paddy, and consumers have been given a control price for rice. Against such a backdrop, there is no way for rice mill owners to refrain from supplying rice to the market. If there is no paddy shortage in the country, there can't be any shortage of rice.
Now, the following views were expressed in the political arena with regard to the holding of elections.
They direct individuals to quarantine centers, conduct tests and then claim that there are no carriers or patients within the community. If they are risking the lives of the people for the sake of power, we do not agree with them, and neither does the general public. We are prepared for a fair election. A country cannot survive without a parliament for more than 3 months.
සෞඛ්‍ය අධ්‍යක්ෂක ජනරල් දැන් ප්‍රකාශ කරලා තියෙනවා.
The Director General of Health Services has now claimed that it is safe to hold an election. When health authorities clearly make such a statement, the attorney representing the National Election Commission requests for an additional 75 days. Their ultimate objective is to delay the holding of the general election. The independence of the commission is questionable. The chairman of the commission says the defeat of the coronavirus will pave the victory for democracy. We have reached this point, so we must now implement it.
ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයට ජය කියලා. අන්න අතෙන්ද දැන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ක්‍රියාත්මක කරන්න.
Dallas Alha Peruma says that they have not received any instructions from health authorities to reopen schools. The environment is not safe to restart schools for 4.5 million children. But it is safe to hold elections where 15 million voters will go out to vote.
I think this case will proceed for another 2 or 3 days. An order will be issued thereafter. What they hope to achieve by reconvening the former parliament is to obstruct the plans of the president. The COVID-19 situation in the island has been managed properly. There has been no transmission of the virus within society. We believe we will receive a fair verdict.
If he can provide a verbal statement to the government that it is safe to hold elections, he should also provide a voice cut claiming that it is safe to hold the elections now. This does not need to be conveyed via a private statement. Let's say that there was a parliament at present, then this issue will be addressed in parliament.
The National Election Commission is responsible to hold elections. They do not have to provide a health report on the suitability of holding an election. Ideally, the Commission should obtain a report from the medical authorities.
If the Director General of Health Services comes forward and provides a statement stating that it is suitable to hold an election now, we will accept this statement. But if such statements are being made in line with political agendas, we will not agree to this.
The police headquarters has promoted 35 police superintendents to the rank of senior police superintendents. Issuing a statement, the police headquarters said that the promotions had been made upon obtaining permission of the National Police Commission. The statement noted that the promotions had been granted the approval of the Election Commission. Failed cultivations and the debt burden are some of the many problems faced by farmers in the Ampara district. These farmers now claim that banks from which they obtain loans are pressurizing them to repay their loans, loans which were once promised to be written off in the run-up to the presidential election.
Corn cultivation in the Ampara district was severely affected in 2018 due to the Sena caterpillar menace. While the crops of some farmers were only partially affected, some farmers had nothing left to harvest. Farmers claim only about 200 local farmers were compensated for their damages. Adding to their struggles, their crops were once again devastated due to the drought that prevailed during the second half of last year. This is the present situation of the farmlands.
We are not ashamed of our problems. We work day and night to give food to the country, but there is absolutely no one to speak for us and end our struggles.
It's against such a backdrop that the banks are pressurizing these farmers to repay their debt. This is the government's opinion in response to the promise made during the run-up to the presidential election to write off the debt of farmers.
Such decisions and pledges were made before the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Fulfilling such pledges is among the many issues we are facing at present. Paying the salaries of state employees itself has become a major issue for us.
The shortage in fertilizer still remains one of the main issues faced by many farmlands.
Uwa Paranagama Valimada is the farmland that produces potatoes in the island. These are the farmers who cultivate potatoes. They plant paddy in one season and potatoes in another season. This Yala season, farmers are planting potatoes. Even though they prepare the lands for cultivation, obtaining basic fertilizer is still a problem.
පෝරමිටි 1000ක් බලාපොරොත්තු වුණත් අපිට මේ අවස්ථාවේ මේකට ලැබෙන්නේ පෝරමිටි 2-3ක් වගේයි.
මූලික පෝර නැතුව කොහොමවත් අලගහක් එන්නේ වෙන භෝගවාගේ නෙවෙයි. අපි දැන් මාස 4-5ක් ගොඩ කන්නේ හදලා ඒ බීජාල ටික ගෙදර තියාගෙන ඉන්නවා.
The farmers claim that even though in the previous election politicians gave them promises, now it has turned into a sad story. Meanwhile, former State Minister Keheliya Ramakwella expressed his views regarding the fertilizer problem at a press briefing today.
There's a huge issue regarding fertilizer. That is, the previous government has bought 21 billion rupees worth of fertilizer which we have to pay for. Besides the government, there are 5 companies that import fertilizer. They have also stopped importing fertilizer. They haven't been paid. Through a different method, they have been paid 50%. We will definitely solve this problem, but it will require some time.
During this week, the central bank has printed 11.75 billion rupees, bringing the total value of money printed since January this year to 244.12 billion rupees. Now, during a webinar yesterday, Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Senior Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe has said the Central Bank is confident that the money printing during the past few months will not result in an overheating of the economy.
Our responsibility, primary responsibility at this point is to provide sufficient liquidity. We have been buying government securities. That is because our reserve levels have been going down, which is absorption of liquidity from the market. And we have to provide that liquidity as well as additional liquidity. So the instrument that we have used by buying treasury bills and bonds from both primary market and the secondary market. As a result, the numbers that you have mentioned is correct. And obviously concerned that some cases, because whether this should lead to a high inflation. There's no excess demand in the market or in the economy. We will be able to maintain inflation between our target range of 4 to 6%. And still growth is going to be much lower than our potential growth. And therefore, as a result of providing more liquidity into the market, and which is not excessive compared to the overall monetary expansion, we're going to see any adverse impacts of providing central bank liquidity to the markets. And we are not going to see any adverse impact in terms of overheating the economy or in terms of high inflation.
Yesterday, the Monetary Board of the Central Bank decided to cancel the finance business license issued to the Finance Company PLC with effect from the 22nd of May 2020. Speaking to Newsfirst, Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, H.A. Karunaratne, made the following clarifications with regard to the repayment of deposits.
Now there are 145,000 depositors in the finance right now, but out of this 145,000, 135,000 depositors can be paid in full by using the deposit insurance money. The deposit insurance scheme is allowing to pay 600,000 per person. The total value of the depositors comes to 26 billion. Out of that, deposit insurance scheme can settle for 11 billion, then people will ask what would happen to the balance. That need to be settled by using the liquidation funds, because this company has a number of assets, and according to the book value it is around 20 billion, but our panel had estimated the realizable value of these assets around 10 billion.
This issue has prolonged for a period of 3 years. We urge the government, the president and the ministers in charge to look into this matter and to repay our savings, at least on an installment basis. The 4 owners of this organization are living comfortably with our savings. At least instruct the central bank to pay us interest on our deposits. We have no means of income. I have 3 children. I sold my house to educate them. We deposited our savings here as ETI was registered with the central bank. We urge the president to solve this issue, just like he put an end to the war.
One person has gone missing and 2 sustained injuries when after a fishing vessel capsized near the sea area in Kovagala, Hambantota.
A fishing boat left to catch lobsters at 6:30 a.m. this morning toppled in the Kovagala area. One fisherman went missing and two fishermen had saved themselves by swimming ashore. One person had sustained severe injuries after colliding with rock, and both of them were admitted to the Hambantota hospital. The Navy officials started operations in search of the fishmongers who went missing. One person who went missing is a 23-year-old father of two living in Mare Road in Hambantota.
Due to the lack of income during the curfew period, they have gone ahead and laid nets to catch lobsters. The sea wasn't rough yesterday. The boat toppled after it was caught in the rough sea today when they returned to get their catch. They have gone ahead without wearing safety jackets after we advised them not to set sail due to rough sea waves. We have clearly advised them not to set sail without ensuring the boat and the lives of the fishermen. We have also told them not to go to the sea without the necessary safety equipment. None of this safety equipment was on board the vessel. The boat had set sail ignoring the instructions of the fishing inspector of the area.
According to our correspondent, the Sri Lanka Navy had sent back a vessel that was engaged in fishing activities without any safety equipment, even though an accident had just taken place.
Multi-day fishing trawlers stranded close to Indonesia due to the supercyclonic storm Ampan made contact with radio signaling exchange centers in Kudawalla fishing harbour.
Bishanbuta, Kudawalla, Kudawalla. Oh, me Bishanbuta me ginnoda. Oh, nanata oyata me navikamuta me yatraවට kittuwen dinne කොහමද? ඔයාට නාවිකාමුදා යාත්‍රාව පේන දුරකින් වගේ දින්නේ කොහමද? ඔබ හරි? හැටක්ම 100කට වැඩි තියෙනවා මං හරිද?
34 multi-day fishing trawlers have been dragged towards the sea close to Indonesia due to the supercyclonic storm Ampan. Fuel of the vessels ended when they tried to travel back to land following the storm. The vessel Samudura, belonging to the Sri Lanka Navy, was assigned to provide fuel and other supplies in order to ensure their safe return. The Navy said that as of now, they have made contact with the fishermen of the stranded multi-day fishing trawlers who are 700 nautical miles away.
According to the Department of Wildlife, over 100 million rupees is spent annually on projects to resolve the human-elephant conflict. Environmentalists point out that the human-elephant conflict has claimed over 260 elephants and 150 people in the past 2 years. Now, their opinion is that ad hoc development projects had aggravated the situation.
Is it the increase in the amount of wild elephants encroaching into villages or human settlements being formed on what was inherently the habitat of these elephants that tipped the scale in the human-elephant conflict? Environmentalists point out that over the past 20 years, human activities had resulted in massive destruction of forest and the surrounding ecosystems. Ad hoc and unsound development projects and expansion of lands for cultivation are some of the main factors that contributed to the destruction. Even now, the Yala, Kumana and Lahugala forest reserves in the Uva province are facing an imminent threat as surrounding forest reserves have already fallen prey to so-called development projects. Commercial plantations of corn and sugarcane run by multinational companies have jeopardized the future of these forest reserves. Development projects in the Matale district has already claimed over 10,000 acres of forest in that district. This mass-scale deforestation has mainly affected the wild elephant populations in the area that consume over 150 kilograms of plants and trees on a daily basis. Forests in the Knuckles mountain range have been destroyed in a similar manner, and the destruction has now spread to areas including Nawula, Pallegama, Ilukkumbura, Laggala, Dambulla and Sigiriya. This is Yarunode village in Sigirimulla, Dambulla. This village have suffered due to the human-elephant conflict for some time now. A majority of crops they cultivate are consumed by wild elephants. Paddy, banana and many other cultivation in the area usually end up being destroyed. We reported on how trees were being torn down and forests being destroyed in areas like Kantale, even while the residents of the area are already suffering due to the human-elephant conflict. Environmental organizations point out that about 4,600 hectares of the Wilpattu Reserve have been destroyed. Relocation projects in forest reserves in Mana, Tabover and Kallaru have put these forests at risk. About 3,000 acres of forest in Polonnaruwa were destroyed by relocation projects and as a result of human activities, including cultivation. Wild elephants in the Lunugambehera, Bundala and Udawalawe in the Hambantota district have lost their habitats due to unsound development projects in the area. The Gamad initiative, together with the Peradeniya University, presented a project on managing the human-elephant conflict after months of an in-depth analysis of the issue. The report drew attention of authorities to issues such as human settlements and cultivation in forests and buildings and other infrastructure constructed across elephant passes. This is the Kalambu main road. Elephants were spotted opposite the Hambantota hospital at about 5:45 last evening. These days, the sight of elephants along main roads and riverbanks in these areas is not unusual. Although the sight of these wild elephants may be appealing to the eyes, to the residents of villages on which these elephants encroach, the sight of these elephants brings nothing but fear and a sense of helplessness. The wild elephants issue that was mainly present in villages has now made its way to towns.
Thousands of hectares are being destroyed. Development projects have been launched in areas in Hambantota, Morogahakanda, the Kalu River and the Yanoya, which were inherently the habitats of wild elephants. With these elephants losing their habitats and being confined to certain areas, we saw a rapid aggravation of the human-elephant conflict. Have we really received the intended results from these development projects? We need to look back as to if these massive development projects that we have launched in these areas have actually given the people benefits, or were they just white elephants that wasted the taxpayers' rupees?
Several viewers have informed us of their inability to watch the Davasa program and the 7 p.m. primetime news bulletin that were aired on our sister channel Sirasa TV on Pure TV yesterday.
Upon receiving several phone calls, Newsfirst was able to confirm that the programs could not be watched on Pure TV. Viewers who are unable to watch these programs live on Pure TV can visit our YouTube channel and Facebook account in which these programs had been live streamed. You can visit our YouTube channel Newsfirst Sri Lanka, or our Facebook page Newsfirst.lk. Contact the Pure TV hotline on 1212 regarding such difficulties.
Cricket is a game that is loved by many Sri Lankans. Now, how are the administrators of this game appointed to the cricketing body? This is a report filed by Sports First.
Today, we wish to explain to the cricket enthusiasts about the manner in which cricket administrators remain appointed to their positions. 147 votes are cast in total to elect the members of Sri Lanka Cricket, which is the country's apex cricketing body. Each of the 22 districts which vote in this election is granted an opportunity to cast 2 votes. In addition, 5 provinces are allowed to cast 10 votes. 29 premier clubs are allowed to cast 58 votes, while 6 sporting bodies are allowed to cast 12 votes. 23 affiliated sports clubs are allowed to cast 1 vote each. 8 premier clubs in the 3rd division are promoted to the 2nd division based on a decision taken by cricket officials. Among the 23 affiliated sports clubs, 6 clubs belonging to the 3rd division are allowed to play in the 2nd division upon the invitation of cricket officials. Some clubs which have not won a single match or a tournament have been promoted to the 2nd division in this manner. Cricket clubs in 14 districts, which can cast 28 votes in total at the election, do not take part in the first-class cricket tournament. Upon further investigations made by Newsfirst, it was revealed that several district clubs do not take part in second division games. The total number of votes that can be cast in the election of this country exceeds that of other cricket-playing nations, including England, in which the game had been founded in order to protect the officials in power. An excellent example of this is that Sri Lanka Cricket provides funding to 20 associate clubs which do not vote in the election. We haven't forgotten the manner in which the money that should have been received by this country for telecast rights had been deposited to foreign accounts. It is against this background that cricketing officials have drawn their attention towards constructing the largest cricket stadium in the country. The present administrators of the game must realize that several people in the past worked tirelessly to uplift the standards of the game to what it is today without being granted any privileges. We revealed the manner in which officials of Sri Lanka Cricket had signed an agreement on the 21st of November last year to construct a fully fledged stadium in Padukka, while preparations were underway to construct the Homagama International Cricket Stadium. Sri Lanka Cricket had published a newspaper advertisement last year to allocate land in order to construct district-level grounds and the officers of district-level cricket bodies. We must be focused on where the money should be pumped. Most numbers of our players have come through the school system, but no attention has been paid towards school cricket during the past 15 to 20 years. This is the situation of the Polo Narwa cricket ground that was built in 1995. Bangladesh is a country which has a higher population than ours. However, they do not have sufficient playgrounds like us. They don't have stadiums like us, but their playing standards have been improving gradually. That is because their plan is good. In most countries, the cricketing authority do not own grounds.
The final rites of a father of two who had died while attempting to rescue a youth who had jumped into the Upper Kotmale reservoir to commit suicide took place today.
Hamid Rizwan lost his life while attempting to rescue a youth who had attempted to commit suicide by jumping into the Upper Kotmale reservoir this week. The final rites of Rizwan were held today.
Taking a look at the COVID-19 situation in Sri Lanka, 40 more patients have recovered from COVID-19. During the 24-hour period ending at 7 p.m. today, 20 new cases of the coronavirus had been identified. Official statistics show that the total number of recovered patients stands at 660. The epidemiology unit of the Health Ministry said that 399 patients are currently being treated at state hospitals.
This is a drama in education program on COVID-19 that was carried out with the intervention of the Nikawaratia Police Superintendent's Office. The program was held with the motive of educating the people of Nikawaratia regarding the pandemic. The exercise had taken place under the supervision of Senior Police Superintendent Upul Chandana. Health practices such as washing hands, wearing face masks and maintaining a distance of 1 meter were demonstrated in the program. Plans have been made to carry out the program across 11 police divisions, including Kobegane, Rasnayakapura, Kotavehera, Mahava and Giribava.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. Now, the Rise Up Sri Lanka song was formulated to empower everyone in Sri Lanka. We leave you tonight with the Rise Up Sri Lanka song. Tonight's news interpreter was Taraka Gabriel. Thank you for watching News First. Good night.
Sri Sri Lanka, rise up Sri Lanka, negative Sri Lanka, negative Sri Lanka.
Brahmada, Nagitimu, Sri Lanka.